appropriate that this piece should start its first forte chord, its first truly loud chord with the whole orchestra, on a diminished chord, a chord which is full of angst and pain and disease in a way. This is the G minor symphony, a work of violence, passion and grief. And really, you don't get that far away from one of those three at any point, at any tiny point throughout this entire work. Indeed, as the music progresses, you get a sense of sobbing, which we'll come on to in a minute. First of all, let's think about the choice of key, G minor, a key which wrought from Mozart some of his most heartfelt, deep, passionate music. Think of the aria Pamina has in the second act of the Magic Flute, Archiphylis. So, obviously everyone knows that opening theme. It's the toast of alarm clocks and mobile phones across the world. Poor old Mozart, if only he were earning a royalty. But like all great things, however much it's hackneyed, broken down, despoiled in various ways, it's too great to break. So it still has such life, an extraordinary mixture of melancholy and adrenaline. Let's play it once more. Little passage of 4 bars there that we just played is the first hint of a kind of a sobbing motif which constantly occurs through the use of sforzando, which means leaning in really quite aggressively to the beginning of a note. Let's just play from 34. Now more sobbing. Version of sobbing. Now, of course, no surprise with Mozart that this funny little theme, this mixture of melancholy and adrenaline, of course, he will then break up and fragment and use in a variety of different ways. Exactly at the point where we've arrived, we get a fragmentation of it between the clarinet and the bassoon, basically. So just hear that clarinet and bassoon alone from bar 70 to upbeat to 73. That little idea is something he's going to play with a lot. One little fertile fragment from the theme. Let's put the rest of the orchestra with that. Just playing from the beginning of bar 72. Now the last section of the exposition, that first part of the sonata form structure, where the themes have been displayed, as it were, before the second section, which is where those themes get developed and raked over and pulled in a variety of different directions, we get this very, very strong passage of music, really bringing us to a tremendously strong end. Then where we're going to go after that is what the question is. And there's this incredible bridge passage at the start of the development, which could really take us to any key on earth. It's like the music of a very angry young man. This is just before the end of the exposition, bar 95. And we're in F sharp minor, which is in fact just one semitone lower than the original home key, which is a hell of a bizarre place to get to at the start of your development. And it only gets more mad. We go through E minor, D minor, a whole realm of different keys. What's extraordinary, I think, about Mozart is his ability to make extreme changes, sort of anarchic changes in terms of keys, but doing it in such a way that a lot of the time it goes past without you really noticing. And so what you have to try and do when you listen to Mozart, and particularly this movement, is have a sense of relative pitch, have a sense of that G minor, where we started, and keep referring back to it, if you can, while you're listening to it, going through these myriad of different keys. I mean, if you've ever tried to write music yourself, you know how hard this is to do. Changing key without it being cheesy, clumsy, obvious, very hard. Mozart, past master. Of course, there are moments when he does it dramatically, on purpose, to make it very clear that he's going to a weird place, like that bridge. But then as the development continues, we go all over the place. But we kind of trust him. Let's just go now from, let's just take it directly on that wind chord at 102, could we? E minor, D minor, C major, B flat major, A major, so having whirled us through that absolute sort of turbulent passage of different keys, he then fixes at a point there, A major, i.e. the dominant of D minor, which is good because that's the dominant key of G minor, which is where we started. Good sense of being close to home. But then he's ratcheting it up, semitone by semitone by semitone, which is a surefire way of raising the blood pressure. Let's just play from the upbeat to the 139. Now down the other side, thinning out, outburst. Now thinning down again. And finally, we're back to the recapitulation. Home ground, a restatement of the original theme as it originally occurred. There's such extraordinary, well, I keep using the word fecundity when it comes to Mozart. His imagination seems to know no bounds. In fact, as amused the other day, I saw a letter that he wrote where he described his process of composition as being as easy as sow's piddle. So there you have it.